bunch of tapes to show you today. About, what, 8? That's about it. And new iPhone, so better quality for the videos. Hey, hi everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I persist with the VHS videos. I have not yet made that famous video that I wanted to make about, the new direction I'm taking with the film poster, the game posters, and some games as well. Simply because, again, I think I said that in my previous video that was like about a month ago, that it's really super hot in South Korea still, and it's just demoralizing just to do anything. It's too hot. It just dipped down pretty much just last week, last Thursday. So yeah, it's only been like a few days I can enjoy like regular fall season weather, and by that I mean about 27 degrees, which is still very hot. Anyway, so let's dive into this video right now. I just have a couple of tapes to show you. They are all late releases, so if you're into late releases, I think you're gonna like this one because we have new stuff that I've never found before. It's like really first time ever. A few tapes I didn't even hear about before, so it's really just everything is new today. So let's start with a few that I may have showed you before, with the first one being Clash of the Titans. Yeah, I showed you that maybe like ages ago. I just got like a new copy in stock. It was a special request by someone, and I knew a seller that still had a copy in stock, so I went on and bought it from him. Sadly, that person, that seller is kind of a hit and miss, okay? Like all the sleeves, they do have like some a bit like water damage. I guess like it's the same thing with all the Korean tapes these days. They all have that kind of like water damage. Sometimes you think like did something dripped on the covers or what? Like this one is not. You can't tell too much. I mean, you see like the yellow part at the bottom right there. So yeah, it's like water damage. Anyway, so it's kind of a bit annoying, but yeah, what can I do? So yeah, otherwise this one is in pretty good shape, I would say. By that I mean, like with general aspect of the cover, is it sun faded or not? And this one doesn't have much sun fade. Like you see, the blue is blue, the yellow is yellow. It does have like a bit of sun fade, but not too much. I remember I had a copy in the past and it was way more sun faded than this. So at least, there's a good point in this version, in this copy. So I can just say that. All right. And of course, the tape is in minty condition. That's a good point about this seller though. Like the cassettes, when I buy them, they're always in good shape. It's always like a blind buy with the sleeves, the condition of the sleeves, and also the boxes, the clamshells, plastic boxes. This one I was actually lucky because this is the original clamshell. That hazy white, off-white plastic. Usually it's more transparent than this, and those are super hard to come by. And if you do find like a movie with this clamshell, and actually, you know what, I was expecting it to be cracked somehow or broken, because in my order, like you'll see the other tapes, I think 2 or 3 clamshells were cracked or like missing a little piece. I had to change them, but this one wasn't, and that was like such like a good thing. Also, let's check more closely. And focus. All right, so this tape is from 2010. We're talking about like August 2010. Wow, so this is quite old. It's quite recent for a VHS. Yeah, so that's great. So 2010 tape, late 2010 even. So this is really good. Okay, but I had this in the past. So, okay, now let's jump to something I never had. I never looked for that before, but again, it was like a special order, so that's why I included it in this video. It's called the Nativity Story. So I guess it's story of the Christ. Again, never seen it. From the picture on the cover and everything, it does look like a decent production. Doesn't look like cheap or anything, but it's just like I never heard of it. Like if I would have seen it on the shelf somewhere, I would have thought that maybe it's a direct to video or something. Maybe it is, I don't know. But anyway, it is a late release. Let me check. It says 2006. No, it's probably a 2006 production, but the tape itself is from April 2007. So here you go. And of course, the tape is in excellent shape as well. Comes in the original K1 clamshell, so that's always appreciated. Okay, the next one, this is the last one that is actually in this batch that is already reserved for someone. Those 3 tapes goes to someone. The last one I have right here is called Dead Silence. That was a James Wan film. If you're not familiar with James Wan, I'm sure you are. Famous for the Conjuring series. I think he directed 1 and 2. The Saw films, he made the first one. Malignant, that was like his last one, I think. And also he made like some big blockbuster films, I think Fast and Furious 8 or 9, one of those. Anyway, what's great about this film, again, I had it in the past, sold it. So this is only the second time I picked this up. It's in beautiful shape, to be honest. Like, the only thing is the original clamshell was broken, like right here, like someone like ripped the cover, but it didn't affect the sleeve itself, the inlay, so it's in great shape. As you can see, there's nothing, there's no water damage, whatnot. I think it's the only one in the bunch that doesn't have any damn water damage on it. So it's quite something. And no sun fade as well. And here is the back. It's quite beautiful. I like it. It's a really nice release. So yeah, so here you have it. This is Dead Silence. Okay, now, what am I showing? I'm going to show you another one I showed you before. But it's back in stock. It's 20 weeks later. I did have a copy a few months ago, but it went to one of my friends because I owed him some stuff. So I said, you know what, pick up some of the tapes that you want. And he did pick up my copy of 20 weeks later. I think I should have kept it. You know why? Because the 20 years later is coming out, I think, next year. They're making the film now, or I think they're wrapping it up, the production. So this is probably gonna get looked for. So yeah, I should have kept it, But how did I know that they would be making another movie? Anyway, so now I have another copy in stock. The good thing is the other one that I used to have that I gave to my friend had a bit more sun fade on the spine. I think only one portion was fine, but the rest was quite faded. This one has like barely any. I don't think it does have any sun fade. You just have like this little damage at the top, but that's it. Like if you look at the rest, it's pretty neat. Yeah. Okay, so let's check the back. So this is it. It's quite cool. It's a really nice cover. And tape itself really clean. It does have some water damage, but it's, again, see, it's kind of annoying, but again, if you look like this, like that, you can't tell. You really need to open it up and look, but otherwise I would say it's a good looking copy. And if it's sitting on a shelf, again, no one will notice. Okay, let's move on. Okay, now this is something I've never had. Maybe you've seen it before, maybe you were aware it exists, but I didn't. So this one is Eastern Promises, and it's a David Cronenberg film with Viggo Mortensen. That one was released, let me check, 2009. So this is a February 2009 release. I believe the movie came out in 2008. So early 2009 release, still quite late in the VHS cycle, so that's really cool. Yeah, it's this like little label. Usually they have a couple of releases, this art service label. Nothing like on top of my head, like I remember. I think they had like a couple of animation, but yeah. So it's really fun that they released that because again, the irony in here is that of course everyone says, "Oh, the last VHS ever released is History of Violence," who happens to be a David Cronenberg film. But no, this one is actually the last Cronenberg film to ever be released on VHS officially. So there you go, Eastern Promises. A bit of sun fade on the spine, nothing too dramatic, and the rest is actually a beautiful copy in good shape. Again, if we look inside, I fast forwarded it because I need to just clean it a bit. Yeah, it does have like that massive stain. Again, they all have that water damage thing, but nothing that affects the front or the back. It doesn't even have any wave, like there's no wavy pattern wrinkles in the inlay in the sleeve itself. So I guess it's been there for a while, or it dried up like really quickly. So there you go, Eastern Promises. One that I've never seen before. Let's move on. The other 3 films I have to show you, it's all stuff that I've never picked up before. So the next one we have right here, this is a movie that I really liked. Not so much this one, but the first one, because this is the second in it's not a trilogy, it's a duology. It's like only 2 parts, 2 films. The first movie was called Night Watch. And I believe this is Day Watch. Again, I have to check it could be very confusing with sometimes the Hangul, the name in Korean, and also the pictures that they use to advertise the film. It could be like the wrong film, but I have to double check because it does say Night Watch right here, but it says Bird Raid, which is whatever. There's like birds like this on the cover of the original Night Watch. And the thing is, because Night Watch came out in 2004, and the sequel was more like 2007, which is called Day Watch. So, and the poster of Day Watch is this. So that leads me to believe that this is Day Watch, not Night Watch, the 2004 film. Let's double check. Yeah, it says 2007 July. So this should be Day Watch. Which is the second film. So if you're not familiar with Day Watch, by the way, it's a movie made in Russia, and it's some kind of sci-fi vampire film. It's really cool. I mean, back when I saw it when it came out, the special effects were actually pretty good for. I mean, you would think like Russia, they probably don't make those kinds of films, but this one turned out to be really eye candy. I don't know how it would stand the test of time if I was to rewatch it today, but the first movie was really good. The second one as well, the special effects were good, but the story was a bit less interesting. But nonetheless, the director of this film, just a little parenthesis like this, like parenthesis here, is that the director of this film went on to make some American films. Actually, he also made this film, and later on he also made the movie Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. So yeah, he went on to have like a very good career and made a couple of other interesting little films, like little fun films. So yeah, this is great because this is the Russian film. So it's probably in Russian with Korean subtitles, if I was to guess. Okay, so we're down to 2 films. Let's go with the next one. It's called The Fourth Kind. I think it was a film that was shot in Vancouver, Canada. I don't remember too much about it, but it had like some creepy scenes. It's a horror film, by the way, with Mila Jovovich. Kind of like found footage mixed with like interviews and like alien encounter somehow, and people like behave strangely, and it's like really creepy film. You see like some shots right here. It had its moment. I saw it in theater in South Korea, like I don't know, and I didn't think it was that great, but I didn't think it was a bad film at all. It's like little cool little film, like if just looking for like a quick horror movie to watch. So this is on the Planis label. Very good shape. There's only some sun fade right here, like halfway. My guess would be like there was a sticker probably here, so it blocked the sunlight. So it only faded like a part of this little brown circle yellow thing here. The rest of the sleeve doesn't look sun faded at all, so that's good. And if we look on the back, so this is the back. This film is, let me check. This is a, yeah, that's the reason I picked it up, because this is May 2010. So May 12th to be exact. So May 12th, 2010, very late in the VHS cycle. And again, something I've never seen anywhere else before, so that's why I picked it up. And oh, again, you know, I was talking about those like white-ish, opaque, not really opaque, but more opaque than the usual clamshell. So this is another one, and again, this one is in top shape. I'm blown away. So see, this is the same one as the Clash of the Titans. And again, if I do make a comparison with like a normal one, this is what it would look like. So you see, it's not quite the same. And those like more white ones are really hard to find because they were only made in 2010. So yeah, that's why yeah, it's important if you do have the film with this original clamshell that comes with it. Okay, now we're down to the last film. So this is a love and hate thing with the buyer that I bought it from. Once again, I don't know, I keep getting lucky, but actually at the end, like not really lucky with this guy, because I do find like this amazing stuff that I just showed you today, although his prices are not that great, okay? And by that I mean they're not like the typical prices I would pay, let's say. They're more like 10 times more than what I would pay. So that's why I'm kind of selling those a bit more, just because they cost me more. But this one is the one that cost me the most, and it's actually the one that is in the worst freaking shape. So it really pisses me off. But the movie is really rare. So it's Martyrs in French. It's actually a French movie. I think it was shot partially in Canada and probably in Quebec, because there's like a couple of Quebec actors, because the movie is in French, so they needed like French-speaking actors, and they filmed there. So if you've never seen this film, it's quite something. It's the kind of movie that will stay in your mind for quite a while after you watched it. They made a remake of this, which is apparently abysmal. I've never seen it, but yeah, this one is the original. So this is the one that you should watch if you want to watch something that is truly like, what the hell, okay? So yeah, first of all, I said bad shape, of course, because the whole thing has like water damage. It's wrinkled. At least it's in one piece, you know. It doesn't have like any pieces broken or tear or anything, so there's that. But the front cover is totally sun faded. It could be hard to tell because it's, you know, it should look like this. So it has like this this tint, like a brownish tint to it. Like the title is the same. I think there's barely any sun fade on the spine, so this could tell you like how it should have looked like. And now you have this, which is totally white. Anyway, I can't tell the amount of frustration. Again, if it would have been like any other titles that I have in the batch that I showed you, I would have been like, it sucks, but it's okay, because I didn't spend as much as I spent on this single cassette. But again, I only found this once in my life, and this is it. So, you know, I'm gonna take my losses here and be like, okay, fine, because, you know, you cannot find this at all. You know, famous last words, right? I'm gonna walk like in Seoul next week. I'm gonna find another copy, but no, it's very unlikely. And if we look on the back, you do have like this part here that has sun fade, which is like, come on, how come it's sun faded on the front, on the spine? I mean, on the edge here, and also a bit on the spine. I mean, come on, this is abusive. So yeah, anyway. And the last thing, let's zoom in. So right here we have the date of release. I think the film came out more like 2007 or 8. I could be wrong. I have to double check. Um, but this copy, the tape itself, came out in 2010 January. So this is, again, it's another 2010 release, which makes this film like really rare, even more. I mean, because anything 2010 is quite unique and really hard to get these days. So yeah, there you go. Have like a little bit of an idea. It's a horror film, of course, and it has like everything that is, warning is. It's all in this film because yeah, it's quite something. So yeah, you should watch it. The only thing though is again perhaps because this film is um, yeah, because this film is French, it could be hard to find with English subtitles. Maybe not so much these days because it's kind of a cult film by now. But yeah. Anyway, so this is the last film I wanted to show you, and I was looking so much forward to buy this. And again, the seller that had that never post pictures of the tapes because again you might ask, but why you paid much money for this if you could have seen the photo? Come on. Again, I said that in the previous video, is that person never posts pictures, and it's just a headache just to ask any request to that dude. Anyway, Korean seller, what can I do? So yeah, but anyway, I'm somehow happy, and maybe somebody will buy it, who knows. So anyway, there you go. Well, if it sits on a shelf on the spine, I guess it's not too bad because this is the most beautiful side of the whole cover, I should say. But yeah, anyway, it's a really rare film, so I'm happy to have it anyhow. So this is all I have for you today. It was 8 tapes. By the way, I hope by the next week, maybe this weekend, who knows, I'll be less and less busy because I've been uploading some of those tapes, by the way, on eBay, so some of you can buy them. I've been able to sell a couple by now already, so these will go up for sale, except of course these 3 right here. Those are already sold, these 3. So these 5 will go on eBay eventually, hopefully maybe this weekend or early next week, and they'll be up for sale. I will link in the description my eBay shop. It's not like technically a shop, so you cannot select, like, go by categories and everything. I may change that eventually. I think it costs like $4 or $5 a month to get like a shop banner or something, so I may do that eventually. Ooh, who knows? So yeah, this will go in the store. So anyway, this is all I have for you for today. I hope you liked the video, and I also hope that, again, I keep saying that, but the next video will be about something else in videotapes. All right, thank you guys. Have a great week, have a great weekend, and see you again.